expensive food item in the menu. Its cost will vary from the type of meat, cut, and tenderness of the portion. Some of the meat are naturally tender, while others are soft. That's why variable the type of preparation method must be varied accordingly. So meat is often the most expensive thing on the menu. The price depends on the type of the meat, which is chicken, pork, and beef. The part of the animal called cut and how soft and or tender it is. Some parts of the meat are often soft and easy to chew, while others are tougher. That's why chefs cook meat in different ways. Soft meat might just need a quick grill, but tough meat needs to slow cooking to make it tender and tasty. Next, types of meat. Beef is a culinary name of the meat from cattle. It is believed that beef has consumed by humans since ancient times, a good source of protein and nutrients. So beef is the name of meat that comes from cows. People have been eating beef for a very long time. Beef is for even the ancient times. It is a great source of protein, which helps build muscles. It has other important nutrients that keep our body healthy. Types of meat. So here's the types of meat. First is steers, bulls, heifers, and cows. And last is cows. So steers. Most of the consumed beef is supplied by this type of cattle. It is male cattle, but they grow older. So that's all for my report. Thank you.
Cuts meats, beef, primal, and rental cuts. It's a short loyal. It is it's a line along back the animals like shark, ribs, rump, and breast plate, pump. It is the part of how to cut the meats of beef primal cuts. Lamb and mutton are the meats from the sheep. This main difference is the age of the animals from which they come from. Lamb is the meat from sheep and goat. It is a lamb. It is a lamb of mutton that how they cut it. They cut in head to neck, shark, ribs, loin, legs. Sheep that is most below 14 months old, while mutton is over 14 weeks. Of how they meet the slump of muttons on lambs. Pork. Most pork comes from swine that is slaughtered between 7 to 12 months technically. So they cut it into head, bone, and shoulder picnic. And also pork that is the most meat in our world. Has been one of the leading meats utilizing culinary dishes nowadays. So because of tenders and natures about 1/3 of pork is sold fresh. So pork must be meat up to between 7 to 12 months technically. Not only 4 months, older 4 months and something like that. Thank you.
Types of processed meats. Processed meats were in that has modified to either improve its taste or to expand its shelf life. So now I'll introduce to all of you the types of processed meats. So we have ham, bacon, sausage, salami, and tocino. First is ham. Ham is an example of pure protein. The meats that is utilized in each process is derived from a hind of a leg of a hog. So ham is a pork from a leg or in a retail cut that has been preserved by wet or dry curing using salt, spices, or other methods. Next is bacon. Bacon is a cured and smoked meat derived from a sides of a hog. The meat should be a balanced portion of lean and fats, because too much of lean will make it less tender and high fat will shrink too much. So, of course, bacon is made of pork with it, which is sourced from the belly of side of a hog, and pagkats niya is straight or nipis ang iyahang layer sa iyahang meat. So next is sausage. A meat that has been finely chopped and ground and mixed with other ingredients, seasonings, and spices. It is then placed into a casing which is a traditional, the intestine of the pigs, but nowadays collagen is being utilized. So sausage made from a raw meat and need to be cooked before eating. There are many variations of sausage, like pork, beef, and chicken. It preserved through curing and drying. So next is salami. Types of smoked or cured sausage that is comprised of fermented and air-dried meat. So, salami is made from fermented and air-dried meat from pork. Next is tocino, a native cured meat in the Philippines and is sometimes referred to as sweet meat pork then sliced of pork belly or pork shoulder and marinated for a few days in a mixture of salt, sugar, and saltry. Tocino is a cured meat dish, a meat from commonly pork belly or shoulder. Then made from pork, although chicken is tocino is like variation of chicken and beef.
Go.
Hi, so the next topic is purchasing meats. Meat plays an important role in at least one of our daily lives. It is a good source of protein which is vital for a healthy diet. It also has a very high mineral content including body essentials like magnesium, zinc, and iron. Most of the meats that are sold in the local wet market are slaughtered early in the day. So when it comes to buying meat, you need to pick the right meat, like the fresh one, so that it's not easier to be damaged. Next is meats are sold frozen in the market because of lesser purchase. That is why careful and wise buying should be applied when purchasing meats in the market. So, uban mo good na mga nabaligya sa market kay ilarang frozen ang mga meats niya, dali ra siya madamay. So, be wise when it comes to buying meats. So, we have here the beef. So, these are the examples or the imong dapat tanaw ng vital meat, the beef. Beef meat should be red with fat content that is creamy white in color. Texture should be fine, grain, and firm. The higher the fat content, the cheaper the price. But this will shrink too much when cooked. So we have here the next in purchasing meats, which is the bill. Bill meat be visibly fat, creamy with lean, fine texture, and firm pink meat. So the bill is, when buying bill, we should look for a specific kind of tenderness and flavor that comes from a young animal. Visibly fat, lean, fine texture, and firm pink meat. This is what we want to see in high quality bill. The meat should be pale pink, almost white, and have a very fine grain. The lack of visible fat means it's lean and tender. If the meat of the bill is red, it indicates that the animal old, and as is expected, it is lower in quality, flavor, and tenderness. But this means that the calf was older when it was slaughtered. Older bill has a stronger, more pronounced flavor, but it's also tougher and less tender than milk-fed bill. So the next is the lamb and mutton. Lamb mutton is, as when purchasing a lamb and mutton, it should be pink to light red color. This indicates that the lamb is young and tender, and is also more flavorful and easier to cook. Lamb meat should be pink to light red in color with fat covering it that is firm and white. When the meat is dark, usually indicates older meat. So when choosing a lamb, looking for a pink to light red color and firm. White fat for the best quality and flavor. Next is pork. So when purchasing pork, it should be a light pink color. It is a sign of fresh pork. Pork meat should be light pink in color with fine grained and firm texture. Because a light pink color also indicates that the meat has been properly handled and stored at the correct temperature. fat should be firm and white in color and bone should be pink. So white fat is a sign of good quality pork. It indicates that the pig was well nourished and the fat is fresh. A pink bone is a sign of younger pork. Is a younger pork. So the last is the frozen processed meats. When purchasing frozen or processed meats, we should ensure that the packaging is well sealed and intact without any tears or damage. This helps prevent contamination and preserve burn. Frozen meats should be in a well-sealed package and well-solid to touch. It is important to know that the packages with clear, preserve and or evidence of frost crystals are to avoid, which indicates bacterial contamination. Avoid packages with preserved burn appears as grayish-brown spots on the meat and occurs when air reaches the surface. We should also be vigilant, always check the expiration date and store frozen meats properly in the freezer to maintain their quality and safety of it. And that's all.
Preparation of meat. So, before starting any cooking method, whether the meat will be prepared by drying it like grilling or a moist method like steaming or boiling. It's essential to wipe the meat with a clean towel. You can remove excess moisture and help the surface brown evenly during cooking. Pwede ko na to ikat ang fat sa meat para malesen ang calories and to make our dishes healthier. So, in preparing frozen meat should be prepared thawed in the refrigerator or microwave before cooking it to avoid uncooked parts. So, when we buy a meat, usually pinaput yun natin siya sa freezer. And then, ang plan natin na utuan siya dapat before is naka-chill na atong meat overnight or mga pila ka hours. So, by doing that, it can help to ensure that the meat stay at safe temperature and to avoid uncooked parts. So, changes during heating, tenderness and juiciness. Correct temperature for the right amount of time will maximize the meat tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Exposing meat into too much heat and salting, shrink, and harden the meat, making it difficult to eat. So, when meat is cooked at the right temperature and time, it becomes tender, juicy, and flavorful. Overcooking, however, can toughen the meat. This happens because excessive heat can cause the protein in the meat to shrink, which forces out the juices and makes it dry, slow, and hard to chew. Example, when shimmering beef or a stew, cooking it at a low temperature for an extended time breaks down the connective tissues, making the meat tender and easy to eat. However, boiling it rapidly at high heat will make the meat tough and crumbly. So, flavor changes the natural composition of the meat like protein, fats, organic acids will improve as the meat will be heated. So, when meat is heated, a Maillard reaction appears. So, where natural sugars and proteins in the meat react at the high temperature. So, the Maillard reaction is many small simultaneous chemical reactions that occur when proteins and sugars in and or the food are transformed by heat, producing new flavors, aromas, and colors. Maillard reactions and more enticing to us humans, encouraging us to dig into the fast before cooking. Chefs are often working on adding salt and seasoning after the meat has browned. This is because the salt can draw out moisture from the meat and slowing down the browning process and making the meat dry. Example is mag-grill ka pork, mag-season ka ng hindi mo siyang paanan ng salt. Pag lang nakaluto siya, tumaos siya, makakuhaan siya sa pork.
So methods of cooking meat. Methods of cooking meat include dry meat, roasting, broiling, pan frying, stir frying, and outdoor grilling. So, or moist heat, braising or cooking in liquid. So, method of cooking meat, nasa ay dry heat, which is roasting, broiling, pan broiling, and pan frying. Then, naapod siya moist heat, like magluto mo nga na ay liquid meat. Then, method should be selected based on initial tenderness of cuts, desired quality, characteristic of the resulting product available, cooking facilities and equipment, and the amount of time available for preparation. So, ang methods of cooking kay nakadepende siya sa tenderness sa meat or sa kahumukol sa meat. Ang result po niya kay magdepende sa imong mga sa gamit nga imong gamiton or unsa imong method nga gamiton pagluto. And ang result sa meat or sa pag-cook sa meat is nakadepende po siya sa time ug pila nimo siya ka oras i-cook.
Different types of cooking method.
Next is tender cuts of meat. Cook by dry meat method result in tender and juicy product. Ang humok na nga meat or humok na nga pagkakat sa meat is lutuon siya sa dry heat method. Ang result ana is juicy siya and tender. When less tender cuts meat must be cooked for a longer period of time by moist heat method to often the connective tissue prevent surface drying and develop some flavor. So kanang gahi nga meat is lutuon siya by moist heat method para mahumok ang mga tissue and ma-prevent siya nga mag-dry bitaw mag-dry ang meat and para ma-develop iyang flavor. And some tender cuts such beef top, round, and chop arms can be cooked by dry heat method to if marinated and before cooking. So, naayuban nga kanang less tender cuts na meat is gina-cook siya by dry heat method. But kinahanglan marinated na daan ayha siya doon. So mag-marinate ka hours or day gyud para makuan ang sauce na imong gigamit pag marinate.
The red one is the chunk and the part of the tail is the round.
The degree of doneness can easily be determined by measuring internal temperature using a standard meat, a thermometer or quick recovery instant heat thermometer. So, ang degree of doneness sa pagluto sa meat can easily determined by using measuring internal temperature. So, makuha mo siya nga luto na ang meat o